you want us to start? You gotta start. Right. Start. Ladies and gentlemen, live at the 2020 Spaulding Hoophall Classic at Springfield College. This is Cyril Zanetti, and today I am joined by
Tony Petaway, ladies and gentlemen.
And today's game starts off with the Sci-Tech Cybercats going against the Putnam Beavers. So we started off a little late, but now we're going to be able to fully analyze it and get right into it. So started off for the Beavers on the jump shot. No good. The attempt was from Green. And now there's a rebound for the Cybercats. They're going to push it to Martin on the wing. Martin's going to hold on to it, guarded by Green, gives it to Spears on the top of the key. Back to Martin. Martin pops the three, deep ball off the mark. And that will give the Beavers possession. Well, as we kind of forced into this, let's have Tony break down what to expect from the Beavers.
Well, from a physicality standpoint, they look really good at the guard position. The tempo controlled by number 5 in your program. He's been doing it all season for them, Green. And I had a chance to talk with him pregame. He fashions his game after Kevin Durant. He likes his tenaciousness and his on and off court presence. I said, well, what can I see from you tonight? He says, you go up there, grab that microphone, and strap in for something truly exciting. So we're going to do just that, Spiro. But looking from a physicality standpoint, the Putnam Beavers look a little more stout than the Cybercats with this lineup out here.
Well, we'll definitely see how that works. You know, going into this, the Beavers are the number 4 going against the number 3 Sci-Tech Cybercats. And on the previous play, it was number 2 Chris Spears who looked to draw the foul. It'll be on the ground, and that means the Cybercats will be inbounding it. And now with it is Thomas. Thomas on the drive, not able to get it in there. Now it's scoreless. Now on the other side, it's Triplett. He has it still, gives it to Harmon. Harmon on the wing pass. However, it was Xavier Martin who was able to draw the foul. So before the Harmon pass to set up Barbosa for the shot, we were able to see a foul on the floor. Switching it over now. The Cybercats get another opportunity, Tony.
Yes. I like what I saw on the defensive end there, going man-to-man and drawing the offensive foul by being in the right place and planting his feet. Let's see what they have moving forward.
Well, it's Smith. He's going to hold it in the corner, bounces it back. Beautiful pass to Thomas. Thomas couldn't finish. However, they're going to call the foul. So with the setup right there, you're going to see an advantage in possibly being able to be the first on the scoreboard. So once again, we are here at the 2020 Spaulding Hoophall Classic, and today is the opener. For our first game, once again, the Beavers and the Cybercats. And our main event for tonight will be the Savage Bulldogs and the Central High School Golden Eagles. So Thomas's first free throw, no good. So we'll see what he does with number 2. And he's able to sink it down, get the first points on for the night. And now the Cybercats have a 1-0 lead. And now
Joey,
for Beavers.
Thomas, a sophomore. Good size young man.
Well, for the Cybercats, right there on the fast break maneuver, it was Xavier Martin able to finish. And Martin, a standout player for the past 2 years, you could say, really putting a name out for himself in the area for being a great basketball player. And it started off here at the Hoophall Classic. He gets 2 on the fast break. And now it's Spears onto the other end. Goes up strong, can finish for 2. And there's the lead for the Cybercats. A team that is well-rounded this year, playing an amazing matchup against Central early on. And right there, there's the intensity needed.
Loving what I'm seeing in terms of the tenaciousness on the defensive end, sir. They're really getting after each ball. They're contesting each shot. And they're thinking really ahead with the forward passes on the outlet to the wings.
well, you know, when it comes to the defense, it always is important, but if you can't finish offensively on these stops, then it's not going to do too much. So now we're going to see Spears translate it. He's going to give it off to Smith. Smith back to Spears, to Martin. Martin giving it up. And on the finish was Thomas, but he couldn't get it to go. Out to the corner. Back to Thomas. Thomas pumps the three, gets a shot that he could take. Can't get it to go. And it looks like there was a little contact after the play. Nothing really called, but if you're seeing for the Beavers, Triplett is limping a little. Seemed to have a little contact for that, but there was a lot of momentum on that to finish, but they weren't able to go.
They're pestering with that man-to-man defense. As you saw, they converged on the wherever the ball is going. You can see at least 2 to 3 of White in that vicinity.
Well, most definitely, especially because these two teams are fighting for this. This is an incredible matchup, you know, to start it off. And of course, what better to represent the birthplace of basketball, Springfield College, at the 2020 Spaulding Hoophall Classic. Once again, 5-0 lead for the Cybercats. It's Spears on top of the wing, guarded by Feliciano. It's Green who picks him up. Now it's to Smith. Smith to Martin. Martin across, past the Spears. Spears on the drive. Can't get it to go, trying to get the rebound. It looks like it's Javon. So Javon English was able to hold it in, and now it's Feliciano. The pass to Green. Green on the drive, gets it in for 2 on the and 1. Jason Green Jr. with a strong finish on that, and that is the momentum that you love to see. And on the acceleration from the stop, and that stop was from Green, or was from English. And he handed it off to Green, and Green was able to finish it up, draw the foul, get to the line, and we'll see how he capitalizes, and he converts it. So now, what was a 5-point deficit, now is a 2-point deficit, Tony.
Absolutely. When you look at the play, he protected the ball on its way to the hoop. Like you said, his momentum carried him through. He was rewarded with the 2-point basket, and, of course, goes in and cashes in on the charity stripe for the vintage 3-point play. That's what you want to see. You want to see it close and finish just like that.
Well, right here, the Beavers showing defense on everybody except, well, right there, Thomas, but he wasn't able to connect, and now Feliciano onto the other side. And the defense was there. The putback, however, from number 2, Javon English, able to finish, put back up, and tie game. But as I was saying, the Beavers were very quick on the defense, as they're trying to double. They're going to call travel right there on Spears.
And they'll go to a substitution. But I love the slashiness of the 6'4", Javon, slashing toward the hoop there with the finish, putting a nice English on the ball, if you will.
Now for the Cybercats, Dejon Banks will be subbing in, and he'll be taking the spot for Demetrius White, and Spears will be taken out as well. And now Martin to be guarding Feliciano. Sets it up to English. Shot is good, and it was a beautiful setup and an even cleaner shot to go. 5-7 now your score, and at one point trailing by 5, up by 2. Smith to hand it to Thomas. Thomas getting double, taken away big time, and the finish to increase the lead was Triplett, and he's able to put up the Beavers big time. And it's always great for basketball just because you can never underestimate a lead, and to get back to it. Almost a stop, but Thomas holds on to it in the corner. Martin pump fake drive. Can't get it to go, however, he gets the foul drawn. I
love the move by Martin there to draw the defender and get the foul charged to the defense. We'll go to the line. He's just 180 points shy of the 1,000-point mark. He shared with me the pregame. Let's see what he does.
So Martin's first attempt will be good, and that will be a big help for the Cybercats, of course. Of course, early game fouls are always great, but you got to make sure that once you're in that bonus, or in cases where you're on that 1-for-1, or, you know, keep getting it to go, you got to hit your foul shots, because in these type of games, most of the time they're very close, and Martin able to execute both of them and cut that deficit to 2. It's Feliciano faking the pass, beautiful play, but he could not finish. Neither was the putback from Barbosa. And for the Cybercats, if the subs will be set in, Spears is going to check in, and he's going to come in for Smith. So a very high-fashion game right now when it comes to turnovers and taking over on both sides, as some great defense from the Beavers and just as well as the Cybercats. And now we'll see what is in hand. The pump fake is good, and now it's the attempt to Thomas in the paint. Couldn't get it to go. I mean, Cruz was looking for him. They weren't able to hold on to it, and Demetrius White is going to sub in for Cruz. So one thing you like to see from the Cybercats is they're very, you know, obviously right now, quick on subs and getting the guys who need rest to sit out for a couple seconds, couple plays, and then get back in there because they need them. So now for the Beavers, there will be a call on it, and they're going to call it, I believe, a travel.
Travel turnover. But to your point, Spiro, I was talking with some of the assistant coaches from the Cybercats, and they were sharing with me, Sci Tech. They're going to go 8 players deep, so you're going to see a lot of rotation. A lot of people get a chance to touch the floor tonight, and I think that's very admirable of the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
To give the kids an opportunity to shine at this level.
And of course, on this occasion as well. So I must say the quarter has started very slow, but is finishing fast now. 1:24 to go in the first quarter. 7-9. Your Putnam Beavers are now up by 2. And when it comes down to the Beavers, of course, last year they were the team that made it deep for Springfield in the Western Mass area. They made it very deep. And they went against the Lynn English Bulldogs, you know, for the finals, and they were able to go that far, but they weren't able to finish. However, the team is much different as last year. A lot of changes, losing some huge star power. So it's interesting to see how they do this season. And now for the Cybercats, it's Spears. Surrounding him is Harmon, and now to Martin. Martin back to Spears, and there's a double again in the corner, back to Spears. The double team is there.
Well, Coach Shepard, a little upset with that call, felt that his team was playing the type of defense that he's instilled in so many teams over the years. To get right in front of your face and definitely scrap and scrape and try to come up with that ball.
Well, we're definitely seeing a lot of force on that defense from Triplett and Harmon, so it's very interesting to see how it's been working out. And now to launch the pass, it's going to go out of bounds. Wasn't able to find the target he was looking for, and the turnover that you don't want to make, as if there is any. But in this situation, you get the ball back on the missed free throw, and you don't keep the ball. So it's Banks guarding Feliciano. And the pass is intercepted from Martin. Martin onto the other end. Pull up Jay from mid-range, looking for the foul call. And a beautiful stop for the Beavers. Now it's Triplett. He's going to hold on to it. He'll be forced up by Spears. On top of the key. Spears playing good defense. Holds on to it. Sticks with him. Martin looking to guard Feliciano. And now Harmon, guarded by Banks. Harmon on the pull-up shot. No good. Floater attempt from Harmon. And now it's a Triplett. Triplett floater himself. No good. Rebound will be for the Cybercats, and with just 10 seconds to go, it's Martin. Martin to power his way in on the layup, gets it to go.
Nice mid-air control of his body and using just a little bit of English off the backboard. And I believe he called that one too, Spirit.
I believe they called the foul on him, so they brought the play back. So it was a very big sequence for the Cybercats, was called back. And Martin obviously not fond of that. And Feliciano to pull up to hit the last shot of the corner. Feliciano showing off his magic as he hits a couple size-up dribble moves, pulls up right before the buzzer sounds. And once again, not to mention, the Beavers started off the night right here 0-5, down 5, and now they're up big when it comes to this game because we always see a close start and a close finish. But right now, we're seeing a lot of momentum on that Beavers offense. It's always good to see, and of course, the momentum on that defense is where it starts because that's where you get that transition. You're going to see some great stops, and it's very important for the Beavers to keep this going, and Shepard is doing a great job on that for sure. But for Cy Tech, we got to see some more offense and the finishes and, of course, the free throws.
Absolutely. I've been impressed from what I've seen thus far from the defensive standpoint. Folks are really trying to get their nerves, get their feet up underneath them, and get settled in a little bit. I think we'll see a better rhythm and a little flow with the offense. When you mentioned coming from the Tech side of the house, they're going to have to settle down, set their offense, work their offense, trust in their plays. Coaches prepared them. Kamari Williams has been doing it for a while, and he's assisted by a very good cadre of coaches in Tolan Gladden, Nick Gaetano, Maurice Jones, Nate Pace, Amir Bilal, and Tracy Bradford.
Well, as Tony was saying about the coaches, now back into it, the start of the second quarter. The play will come to an end as White was out of bounds on it, and that will be Putnam ball. Those started off the quarter. We saw Spears and Martin put up some shots. No good for the Cybercats, and they are still down 4, even with the possession. So now, after the big momentum changer from Feliciano, we'll see what he does. Gives it to Harmon. Harmon on the wing. He's guarded by Thomas. He's going to find a beautiful pass, by the way, but the wide open Jaden Dickerson, and just an amazing setup from Harmon. And now Thomas going to fake the pass. He's double teamed. Passes it now to Spears. Spears double team. He's going to look for Martin. Finds him. White with the contested 3. Can't get it to go in the Feliciano rebound. And now the Beavers are going to keep the ball rolling. 13-7 now. Feliciano guarded by Smith.
The man-to-man defense is exactly what you want to play against a very athletic lineup that Putnam has out there, because they're going to do just that. Force them to shoot the outside shot because they're streaking to the basket. That's the one way you want to get around the man-to-man. Go inside and make them pay with a foul and sit back and get some free throws in there.
Well, on the Julio Feliciano shot, he was able to knock that down and increase the lead. So now 7-15 now, and the Cybercats didn't get the foul call they wanted. So now they go back to it. Dickerson on the shot is able to get it to go, and the Cybercats are going to have to call a timeout. So we saw a very good start from the Cybercats, getting that lead, and from there it's been in no man's land as the Beavers have been able to put up a 10-point lead, and they've been pouring them out offensively. Shooting well from the field and in the inside. Deep ball, haven't seen a lot of that, but in the action, in the paint, and setting up the teammates, they've been doing that for sure.
Yes, indeed. We're not seeing a lot of 3 balls in this first half,
which is
but
surprising.
A lot of slashing and going right to the basket for the high percentage shots would look great. The Cybercats are going to have to pull the intensity from somewhere. They're going to have to make a move soon, because this 10 points could easily be 12 or 20.
30. Or it could be cut.
Right.
Because these are unpredictable games. You know, these type of games are always fun to watch just because these players make sure that they understand where they're playing. And, of course, here at Springfield, Massachusetts,
right,
for the Martin Luther King weekend, we always have the Hoophall Classic. And it's almost like, for most of these kids, at least for my case, I've grown up going to these games, and just for them being basketball players wanting
Right.
to play here,
Right.
sharing the same court as guys like Simmons, Embiid, and of course, guys like last year we saw Zion Williamson, or 2 years ago, and now LeBron James Jr. will be here tomorrow. So a lot of big names that we'll get into later, but to get back into it, I was just trying to, say a little, meaningful thing about the Hoophall Classic. But back to the action. The Cybercats have it after the timeout call, and Martin will be the one inbounding it. He gives it to Spears. He's guarded by Feliciano. Spears gives it to White. White back to Spears. He's going to move to the top of the key. White on the fake screen finds Smith. Smith in the corner. He's going to float it up for two. No good. And it will stay Putnam ball as English was going for the rebound, and it ended up being Dickerson who was able to grab it in. So now the Beavers get the ball back, and it's Feliciano who'll be guarded very quickly. Smith guarding him. He roses by him, and Smith with an incredible stop. And now it's Martin to set it up. On the other side, he gets it in for two. On a beautiful fast break transition to cut the deficit.
And that's what you want to do. You want to run that lane, run right at the basket and try to draw a foul. Nicely done by Martin, who draws a gap.
And now Spears to Smith on the other end. Spears on the finish, can't get it to go. But Spears here,
Right back
he
to
grabs
what's
it
working.
up. He's going to get the foul. So yeah, that was Smith, who originally went in for the finish, but not able to get it to go. Spears grabs the rebound, and now he's going to get the chance to shoot some free throws. So once again, 9-17, the Putnam Beavers have put themselves in a great predicament, being up somewhat big. Of course, 5:10 to go in the second, and Spears able to get that to go. So that was a 7-point game. What was a 10-point game, cut down from a nice fast break score earlier from Martin, and now, hopefully, Spears free throw. The second one is up, and it's an air ball.
Well, you definitely got to cash in on every opportunity, being behind by 7 at this point. But what I like is that they have 9 team fouls against Putnam, and if they're going to get back into this thing, they're going to have to continue to do what they're doing.
They got to be
Go
aggressive.
to that line, be aggressive, draw another foul, and sit there and shoot those 2 free throws, and slow the tempo down and play your game, play the offense, and trust in the offense.
100%, Tony. I could definitely agree with you on that, just because it's very important. But, to furthermore go on to what I was saying about, just like this whole Hoophall Classic, it's a very big thing, as a lot of people, some even around the country, will always come here. I've met many people, from places that you wouldn't expect people to be from in Springfield,
Right.
So, this year we've got an incredible set list, and of course with Canyon coming in here with guys like Zaire Wade, Bronny Jr., BJ Boston. There's a whole bunch of big names coming to Springfield, and of course that's always exciting to see. And last year were the big highlights. Year before was a huge setup with RJ Barrett, Zion. We've seen guys like DeAndre and Michael Porter, and the list goes on. D'Angelo Russell, all those guys have been here, and it's always something big. Noah Farrakhan, and what I'm saying is these guys can end up, trying to follow their footsteps.
Right.
So getting to see some of their favorite players and play on the same court is always something big.
And also with them come their parents, which brings another round of spectator who wants to see and be a part of it, touch
sentiment,
it, be close. And then to look throughout the crowd, as I've been able to come in and see so many local hoopers. Our very own Travis Best and Mr. Leo Best are here. They're fixtures here at the court side. And just so many other alumni of both these fine institutions are here rooting for their alum.
Of course, yeah. And now I'm seeing a lot of intensity from Smith on the defensive end, and Spears able to poke it out, loses the ball, and it's going to go out of bounds. But what I was touching on is that Trent Smith is showing a ferocious, intense defensive pattern, and I'm loving it because it's really helping the Cybercats get that ball out. And when you got him applying the force, Spears was able to poke it out and at least get that attempt of the possession. Wasn't able to finish. However, the defense was there. So now it's English. English loses it, and there's Smith. Smith on the other side. He's going to put it up. Can't get it to go. Spears rebound, the put up. Gets it to go for 2.
Yeah, redemption bucket by Spears there.
Absolutely. And so there will be a foul. And it's going to be on Smith. So now the Beavers will be inbounding it again. And the score 12-17 with 4:23 to go. In the first half, we've seen a lot of, I guess you could say, intense action that to start it off, but right now the Beavers are kind of on a cold streak. So we'll see how they start it up. And Feliciano gets called with the travel. So now it's going to be Spears. We see Dickerson at the top of the key. Martin in the corner, wide open. Can't get it to go. That was Banks. And now Feliciano looking to bring it on to the other side. Guarded by Banks. Banks is going to step up. Feliciano challenging him. Fakes the pass. Top of the key now. And it's Triplett. Triplett on the drive. Off the glass. No good. Big rebound from White. And now it's Martin. Martin looking on his own. Finds Banks. Banks going to hold on to it. Double team. Faced by Triplett and Feliciano. And now it's Spears. Spears to Martin. Martin double team. And it looks like they're going to call the foul on that. And Martin obviously faced a lot of big situations already today where he definitely wanted that foul call, and he's expressed that. And, you know, you almost look at it as him being a very physical player, and it's always something good to have. But he's also playing well offensively and being a great leader for the team. So drawing that foul, as you said, putting them in danger, being aggressive, that's what they need to continue to do with the fouls.
Yes, X, as he's called, his nickname, short for Xavier, is nicking away at that 1,000-point mark. He's trying to get it 1 point at a time. It's been really impressive from the charity stripe. What I really like about his game is that he's very patient and poised, like his role model at the next level. He really enjoys the game of Kevin Durant, just about his business, not a big talker, not flashy, just gets in there and does what's needed. Let's see what happens here.
So the second free throw is good for Martin, and now 14-17, and there is the press already. A great defensive adjustment for the Cybercats. Spears putting on the pressure on Green. It's going to go out of bounds, and it will remain Beavers ball. However, the pressure there was something needed. Putting up that full court press early on is always something I like to see when you're trailing, but especially when you're cutting it close, because the closer that it gets, the more intense that it is, it makes it an even better matchup.
Absolutely.
So now Green at the line. He's going to get it to go on the 1-and-1 opportunity, and he'll get another shot to increase that lead from 4 to 5, Tony.
Well, Martin leads all scorers with 8 at this point.
And Green's second one is good. Gets both to go. And that's what you like to see for the Beavers. And now Spears, quick on the onside. It's going to go to Banks. Banks with the fake, and it looked like it was a travel. Yeah, travel quick. He kind of maybe went for a jab step, but instead took a literal step. And
that was more of a one giant step for mankind and a few others.
For the Cybercats. Now, for the Beavers, it's Triplett, guarded by Banks. And now Green, guarded by Spears on the wing. He's going to give it down, and it's English.
Yes.
And there's Spears with the steal. He's going to slow it down, let his men get back. And guarding him is Triplett. Gives it to Martin. Martin, quick pass in the corner.
Putnam in the zone.
On the drive was Thomas. Can't finish it. Neither can the putback get to go. Thomas having a rough start, looking to see if he'll be able to take over from there. And now it's Green. Green playing well, 4 points of his own, and now Triplett. Floater gets it to go. And a nice setup from Triplett. And I always like seeing a solid drive. And of course, out on that little hop step is always flashy. But to get that and one looks even nicer. And then when you're doing that plus a lead, that's a nice play. So 21-14, your updated score after the flashy play from Stephon Triplett. We'll see what he can do if he can convert the and one. And it's up. And it's good. So now, Tony, the Beavers are kind of recollecting their lead that they once had. So we definitely have to see a switch up, a momentum on the offense.
Absolutely. There were a couple missed opportunities by the Cybercats who were, in close proximity to the hoop that just couldn't get it to fall. A credit to the defense of the Beavers, who have moved to that zone and are daring them to shoot the ball from outside and appearing to work at this particular point.
So one of the few free three-point attempts in the game tonight was put up by Watson, not able to go. And speaking of the devil, Green puts one up of his own, can't get it to go, and English try getting a putback, but now Spears onto the other end for the drive. He's met at the rim from Triplett, and now he gives it up to Dickerson, and Dickerson draws the foul. So there was a lot of...
They're letting them play a little bit. A lot of physicality on both ends there.
Most definitely a lot of physicality on that one. We saw a big momentum change, as usual in this type of matchup. But right when Spears went to go the other way, he was met by Triplett, and Triplett set up his teammate Dickerson to get to the other side and go in for two. And the first free throw is good. So he has the ability to quite possibly end the first half in a 10-point deficit for the Cybercats.
With just a little under the 2-minute mark left in this first half, I've been equally impressed by some of the set plays. They haven't exactly cashed in, but SciTech is hanging around.
So Dickerson gets both to go, and now it's Martin. Martin in the corner, gives it to Spears. To Watson. Back to Spears. Top of the key, back to Watson. Watson to Spears. They're going to keep moving it to Martin. Martin on the wing. And with the whistle blown, I wasn't quite sure to see what was made out of that. Was it a shove?
Yeah, he pushed him, Steve Lambert with the call.
So they're going to call that up, and that will send X Martin to the line.
Martin pretty rhythmic with his free throw. The three bounces, set, and nice follow through.
Not able to
they
get
jinxed
that to
him
go.
on that one. But a pretty good free throw shooter. I've been impressed by his touch.
Well, Martin tonight leading the pack for the Cybercats with 8 points. Definitely putting on a performance and showing some physicality on the offensive end as well. So number 2 will be up shortly to try to get it to a 9-point deficit. And attempt 2 is up and good, and that will be the ruling. So now for the Beavers, they're going to try to get it across, and it's Triplett on the drive. Off the glass, English can't get the putback to go. Watson to find Martin. Martin onto the other end, puts it up big, can't get it to go, whiffs it. And there's going to be a foul. And Feliciano looked to go down on the ground after the whistle. So with that being said, on that, I thought Martin was as clear as they're going to be in there for the fast break chance, but the defense was there, and now capitalizing will be the Beavers.
He puts the ball right on the side of his face there. It kind of reminds me of Kyle Macy from some years ago, great free throw shooter, and Mark Price for those historians of the games. Yeah.
arguably, one of the greatest free throw shooter of all time. A bit weird for him, but it worked for him. So now it's Martin on the wing. He's gonna pull up deep, and he gets the and one. Count it to go. 3 up on that scoreboard as an incredible finish.
Whoa.
And he's gonna put it on his wrist and say he's got the ice there, as that is a 3-ball from deep on the and one. One of the first threes of the game.
Absolutely.
Attempted,
and
let
the
alone
range
made.
on that one. And ill-advised, but went in. When they go in,
And there's a highlight play.
there's a highlight.
So he converts the end one, and that's huge. And now on the other end, Martin again hustling his way down the court. He's gonna cross back, sizes up,
He's all purpose.
and he euros his way into the lane.
Finger roll.
Beautiful
Wow.
finish from Martin. And now the lead is cut into 5. And now to finish, beautiful fake, and that's straight up to English. And now Spears is gonna take it after the English finish. A nice setup for the Beavers. And Martin. He's gonna
Martin
use
doing
this
it all.
time himself. And here's Spears, back to Martin. 10 seconds to go. Calls for a pick and roll, pops up the 3, can't get it to go, and there's the rebound. And the Beavers looking to get a last-second shot up, the floater, and they're gonna call
Martin
the charge.
on the defensive end.
And there's Martin able to get the call, gets the charge, 0.4 seconds to go, and that was on triplet.
Oh, he commits his body on the defensive end there. We've seen his offensive prowess as he leads all scorers with 16 points
Yeah.
in the first half. But to see him play both ends and to bring the ball up and have a good sense of handle for a big man.
So we'll see what they can do with this 0.4 seconds. Of course, 0.5 to get a shot up, so they're just gonna roll it up and quick pick it up. So he does get it off in time. Not able to do anything with that. So ladies and gentlemen, to conclude the first half, it will be the Putnam Beavers going into the locker rooms 28-21 with a 7-point lead over the SciTech Cybercats. This is Cyril Zanetti with
Tony Pettaway, ladies and gentlemen.
And this will conclude the first half of the 2020 Spaulding Hoophall Classic, starting it off big. And ladies and gentlemen, returning back from the break, this is Cyril Zanetti with
Tony Pettaway.
And we are starting off the second half for the Hoophall Classic, starting matchup between the Beavers and the Cybercats. So now it's green to start it off after we saw a high momentum and action-packed first half. We'll see how it goes out. And now Barbosa, he's going to dish it out to Harmon. Harmon, dish to Green, shot no good.
For those of you just joining us at home, in goal, it's your Beavers, leading scorers at the half. English with 6, Feliciano with 4, and Triplet with 3 for the Beavers. And then White for the SciTech Cybercats, leading all scorers. Number 1 in your program, the X-Man Martin with 15 points, and Chris Spears Jr. with 5.
Well, as you mentioned, we've seen a lot from Xavier Martin. And to go back to the court now, we're going to see a dead ball go out. Going to be an out-of-bounds call. And it's going to be Cybercats ball. So to get back into the momentum, 21-28 to start it off, it's going to be Thomas to inbound it into Martin. Martin puts it up quick. Can't get it to go. White looking to grab the rebound. It's going to go out of bounds. Stays Cybercats ball.
Well, the Cybercats are hanging around with just a 7-point differential, Spiro. As we see, they've moved to that zone to try to push
And
Martin
now
and company out.
And now Thomas in it on the corner gives it to Smith. Smith to Martin. Deep shot. Bang for 3. That's a big shot to get it to go like that. And now the Beavers have got to capitalize from that. Martin with a nice one. 4-point deficit now. And here's English. English to Harmon. Harmon, Barbosa, Smith. Shot, no good. And there's English. Put back, good for 2.
Nice.
And now it's Martin now. He's going to move quickly to Spears. Spears.
I love the drop
back to
step
Martin.
on the other end. Very nice, fundamentally sound move and rewarded handsomely.
Can never go wrong with that. And now it's Martin. Back to Spears. Spears to Martin. Pops the deep 3. Gets it to go again. And that's a money ball for 3. Got to call a timeout on that. Can't let your defense let it up consecutively. And not only consecutive scores by the same player, but 2 deep 3s. You got to cover that and make sure it's not going in. What was a 10-point lead at one point is now a 3-point deficit for the Cybercats.
That's his 3rd trifecta of the night, and he's chipping away at that 1,000-point mark. We're going to keep a tally throughout the game and keep you informed at home. For those of you just joining us, you have a great one on tap. As mentioned, I'm Tony Pettaway, joined by my hero,
Ciro,
ladies and gentlemen. A lot of pride in the building as we hear the cheerleaders for both sides making the rafters rattle and getting their stomp on.
Most definitely, Tony. It's very loud in here from the cheerleaders' perspective and the fans in general. So now it's going to be Harmon with it. Harmon going to be guarded by Thomas. Harmon, handoff. It's Triplett. On the drive, no good. Grabs his own rebound, puts it back up for 2, and that's a great finish. Spears to look at it quick now. Back to Martin. But Martin being guarded by Harmon. He's going to brush by him. Pass. Setting him up is White. And now White's pass is deflected by Harmon, but he gets it back himself. Spears guarded by Harmon. He's sticking with him. And now Triplett and Harmon double teaming. It's Trent Smith now. Smith to Spears. Spears to the paint. No good. And there's Harmon. And now Green. It's going to go out of bounds, and that will be from the pass from Green. And we're going to see Sci-Tech now. And it's Martin. 5:02 to go here in the 3rd quarter. To start off the 2nd half, we've seen some nice shots from Martin, so we'll see how that continues. It's Smith. Bounce to Martin. Martin looking to pull up, instead fakes it out to the top of the key. It's Smith. Beautiful pass to Thomas in the paint for 2.
Beautiful.
Thomas off the glass, and that was a great finish.
Nice rotation on that one as Smith brought it around and drew the defender and got it underneath the defender. A nice, easy basket. You got to attack that zone. You got to attack it.
Well, 100% on that. You got to keep making sure that you keep the paint protected. Got to be a rim protector, and now the Beavers with it. It's Green. Gives it to English, and it looks like it's an up and down almost, or even a travel.
Yeah.
As it was almost stripped, but really it looked like he held it in his hands clearly. So that'll be Cybercats ball.
With the alternating possession on that one.
And now Martin looks for Thomas in the corner for 3. Can't get it to go. And they're going to be quick to go for the ball and call the jump.
Alternating possession will go to the Beavers.
Right back at them. So now still Green taking it down. Guarded by Spears, now to Harmon, who's guarded by Martin. Barbosa sets up a pick, and he hands it back down to Triplett. Back to Harmon. Harmon's going to find Green. Green to take it to the paint, goes out of bounds as he loses control. And it's going to go out of bounds on the Beavers, and that will be Sci-Tech ball. with 3:43 to go, 32-29 your score. The Beavers still with a prominent lead, you could say. However, the offense hasn't been there since we've seen a big spark. And now Martin gives it to White, back to Martin, being double teamed on the baseline to Thomas on the wing spin move, loses control, and now it's the Beavers who takes over. Triplet on the fast break move, pass deflected out of bounds, and that was Martin on the hustle play.
Great recovery back on the defense to start the offense for the Beavers there as they collapsed with the spin move, gave them nowhere, denied the pass, and Martin to start the offense on the other end.
Well, on the attempt to save the ball, English instead throws it out, and that will be Sci-Tech ball. So now, still the same deficit, 32-29 now. And Martin gonna take his time to set up the offense, and here's Smith. Smith bounce pass to Martin. Martin looking for White, fakes it, holds on, the jump shot, looking for the foul, no call. Martin picks up the rebound now. And now the pressure from Barbosa. Spears gets called on the travel. And it's very easy, you know, for the Beavers to really pick up that double team almost every single pass, as it seems to work for them, but as well as just being able to set it up.
Sci-Tech moves into a 3-2 zone.
As they'll move into there. And now Harmon to Triplet. To Green. He's gonna move it to the top of the key. Calls up English. Instead, he avoids it, gives it a Triplet on the three. Off the mark, and a Sadiq Harmon rebound gives it a Green. And there's the tip. Thomas looking to take control. Holds on to it. On to the other side, coast-to-coast action, can't finish. And there's Barbosa with the rebound. And now Green has it in control. This is it to Triplet. Triplet, beautiful find to English. English in the finish, no good. White with the rebound. And here's Thomas now. To Smith. To Martin. To White. White, finish. Finger roll, no good. And this has been a sequence of unable to finish, that's for sure. And they're going to have to slow it down.
Yeah, we've hit a cold front here at the 1 minute and some change mark, where they've been exchanging offensive possessions, but nothing on the end. And yet, another trip 91 south.
Well, as you said, another 91 south trip, and out of bounds it is, as it is Beavers ball. Barbosa looking to inbound it in. And now it's Sadiq. Sadiq Harmon giving it to Green. Green guarded by Smith, and there's White with the steal, giving it up to Smith. Smith onto the other side, pulling his way in, and he loses control, but it will be called out of bounds, and it looks like it goes out on the Beavers. So the Cybercats retain possession, and Martin will be inbounding it in.
Dickerson joins the lineup as Barbosa will take a breather. We'll see if he brings some offense with him on this one.
That will be needed. So now Martin, deep three, pull-up shot, no good. Harmon with the rebound, and now Green. So 1:15 to go here in the third quarter, 32-29 your score, and it's Dickerson. Gives it a Green. He's going to use the screen from Harmon, but Martin is there to pick it up, and it's going to be on him. Foul will be called, and the Beavers will be getting the ball back. And a substitution will be made, subbing out Demetrius White. Coming in will be Giovanni Cruz for the Cybercats. And now Triplet gonna get it back. And there's the pass to Green. Green on the wing. And they're gonna call a foul on Spears almost. And, well, I mean, we've seen a lot of intensity early on, but now they're really close to flagging them down for those calls, and it's really affecting them for sure.
We'll see if they can move the needle on this one here, as it's been frigid air
Absolutely.
for the last 3 minutes and some change.
It's a drought. It's a bucket drought, you know? We haven't seen anything in a while. And with less than a minute to go, we'll be in the bonus situation as Dickerson goes to the line. Tonight, he has 6 of his own. Shot number 1 will be up, and it is good. So now 33-29, finally another new score on the board, and can't get number 2 to go. However, English on the putback, can't get the bounce. Thomas trying to get the rebound instead. It's Dickerson, and the man who eventually shot the ball puts it back up, and Dickerson back on the board. And Martin loses control, regains it. They try to call a timeout. And it looks like they give them the timeout.
Well,
and that'll give
timeout.
them time to regain possession.
Some great action throughout this evening as we prepare the wrap-up of this one for yet a number 2 game on tap for us on this evening and another on tomorrow. Looking forward to hanging out with Ciro.
And of course, you know, always a pleasure to commentate with you. And this is a great way to start it off because this is definitely a great game. However, the scoring, you talk about great defensive stops. I mean,
Right.
both teams were stopping each other. And it was like every sequence, it was like, wow, great stop, even better stop. And it just kept going from there. And as both teams are really proving to have that star power needed, and with the 35-29 score, with 30.3 to go in the third quarter, it's interesting to see where this will go to start off the fourth quarter for them and see what the Cybercats could do to change their game up the way they need it. I say you really need a big man offense, and you need to use Joey Thomas
Yes.
a little more
Yes.
and get him to finish in the paint.
I would agree. Definitely keep dumping it inside if you're the Cybercats. Martin can't do it all by himself. He's going to have to get the other guys inside.
Get some help, yes.
Some help on the inside. Well, Putnam has been doing their thing on the offensive end, defensive end, as you saw the last offensive series. 4 attempts at the basket.
Well, now Martin is going to take his time with this. Fakes the handoff to Smith,
5-second rule.
and now the 5-second rule will be in effect, and the Beavers will get the ball back.
A great defensive play.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Green, most likely going to chew the clock out. Maybe get a shot up before, but here's Triplett. Back to Dickerson, to Green. Guarded by Smith. Almost swings in it. Harmon now, guarded by Martin. Picking up the double team. And Smith gets it to go, hooks up the shot before the buzzer sounds, but not able to land it in. And Tony, to end the third quarter, the score 35-29. We talked about the Cybercats, but what do the Beavers do to keep this lead going?
Well, they just have to settle down a little bit and look for a high percentage shot. Rotate it. If they don't see it, bring it back out smartly. And try to draw some fouls and take some time off that clock.
Well, most certainly when you have a lead like this that they've been able to keep instinct to as they first got it, you know, being down 5 and now going from 10 to 3, back up to 10, and now they've got a good game among themselves. A 6-point lead, and you want to close it big because with the momentum in the world, you got to keep that offense rolling. This is a very low-scoring quarter, and hopefully both teams, as a matter of fact, are able to pick it up in the in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'd like to also recognize some of the assistant coaches for the Putnam Beavers. Wayne Moore, John Toledo, Mike Morris, and Terrence Ryan, till my wondering eyes shall appear.
And out inbound it is Martin.
Right there. it's great to look courtside in those expensive seats
Yeah.
and see the athletic director, Mr. Dwayne Early for the Springfield Public Schools, along with the principal from Putnam Academy.
And then in 3 days, you'll see all the celebrities.
Absolutely.
All the Georgetown representative, all the scouts and everything. So it's always cool to keep an eye out of those seats, like Tony said. So now the Beavers have it, and still Tony not able to capitalize with the Cybercats, and we'll see what the Beavers do here. It's Dickerson. Sets it up to Harmon. Harmon pulls it up, gets the bouncer to go for two. And now they're going to move it quickly. It's Spears. He's double teamed. He fakes it to Martin, instead to Smith. Smith bounce pass to Thomas. Thomas on the floater. Gets the bounce to go. And Joey Thomas able to get it in for two.
As you mentioned, Thomas is going to have to produce. He's going to have to get involved with the offense. He's a nice streaking big body. If you're side tech, you have to have him touch the ball.
100%.
And help. You got to help Martin out. He can't do it all.
And it's something you need. It's something you need to have on that offensive power, like you said. And right there, the Beavers were able to connect and increase that lead now to 8. And it's Smith now. He's got to find his way. Smith to Spears. Spears to Martin. Martin on the drive, hops it in, gets his rebound, but it goes out of bounds on him, and it will be Beavers' ball.
I like the utility value of Feliciano. He comes in, he spells.
Absolutely.
Harmon in English gets a breather. Green, you go to your horses. A nice balance there. In the chemistry, you don't lose anything. If anything, you gain another ball handler.
And he's able to produce some big talent for them, too, and some nice shots that he was able to knock down early on. So Feliciano now with it, guarded by Smith.
Nice.
And it was a beautiful look, and that was a great finish as English was able to get it to go off the dime. And now that might have been what they needed.
Nice heady player. I like Feliciano's court vision, as you saw in the last possession there. Was able to draw the defense, go to the heart of the paint. As they collapse, nice pass underneath.
And he gets it to go.
High percentage shot off the glass.
So now down by 10, Martin on the inbound. It's to White, back to Martin. Martin looking to find the magic. He's going to find Spears. Spears on the jab fake. And now Martin to Smith. Smith open three, and he's not able to get it to go.
Martin with the putback for his 23rd point.
So he's really cooking up big time tonight as he's got the points he needs. 23 of his own, and Feliciano gets the floater to go.
I love this kid's
great.
game. I love his game. He does it all.
And now that was the shot you don't really want to take as Thomas not able to get it to go. But the Green rebound now, guarded by Spears. They're going to slow it down, and I mean, you got to look for some way to kind of chew the clock, but as well as put points up. So the way that Green's taking it is very big for them. You know, you get across the court just in time. And now he finds Triplet back to Green. Into the paint is English. Guarded. And he puts it up, and the way they call that is a foul, and we've seen Martin express his disagreements with the calls a lot tonight, and especially on that one. I agree. You know, it's definitely a tough call. So now he's going to go to the line.
Yes.
He's going to have a big opportunity.
I got to talk to English pregame, and he was telling me his favorite food of choice is Chinese. So is that a chow mein or a pan-fried noodle? Is it a shrimp fried rice? He just said Chinese.
Okay.
So it covers it all.
It covers it all. And there's Spears trying to get it in for his own, and he'll draw the foul, and that will be good for them. So for the Cybercats, head coach Williams thinking it over with his stars as Spears is going to be taking some important shots. Number one cannot get to go, as he almost got the lucky bounce, as I almost contradicted myself, but not able to get number one down. And now
Spears,
to put it in
senior.
within double digits. Spears' second one is good. So now a 9-point deficit, and they're gonna go back to pressing. And Thomas almost strips it away from Triplett. He's sticking with him. And Triplett zooming his way by, finding the man at Dickerson in the paint.
Thomas appeared to be injured on that one.
Yeah.
Just a little tidbit on Thomas, the sophomore, number 24 in your program. His dream school is Duke University, has a GPA of 3.0. Favorite food of choice, rice and beans. He'll be attending prep school next year. Good luck to you, young man.
And the and one from Spears. And that's going to be something that, as I like to say a lot, you got to capitalize. An incredible finish. And now you're going to be able to really cut that lead down if you're able to convert this and one, as he was able to get that one free throw to go. So 4:33 to go. There's a reasonable amount of time, as well as the foul trouble. Not able to get it to go. Going to follow through, and it goes out on Spears, they say. Looking to see if it went out on English. But it will be Putnam ball, as Green looks to inbound it with a swarm of Cybercats around him. He gets Feliciano. Guarded by Smith, looking to apply that pressure. And now Feliciano finds his way, as he's going to go back on the cut. And Smith is going to bring his intense defense, and he almost pokes it out clean. But Green able to recover, finds Dickerson for the shot, and he's been the X factor. He's my go-to player right now, as Dickerson has hit every important shot he's needed to, and he's racked up 11 points of his own. But there's White on the three attempt and can't get that to go. So now, here's Triplett. Beautiful pass to Feliciano, and he gets it to go. So now 6 for Feliciano with 3:53 to go. And there's the lead the Beavers are going to keep. Right now, they're playing it off good. Of course, it's not over yet, but you never know what to expect.
Well, that's the beauty of this game at this level. It's a lot of pride on the line, a lot of opportunity, a lot of missed opportunities. I don't know if they opening the door on this north end of the gymnasium has cooled everything off, because it's been pretty frigid.
That's where the entrance
when
is,
it comes to the free throw attempts and the misses on this end.
It's definitely not a good look for them for the free throws.
But nonetheless, it's an incredible basketball environment, great atmosphere. You have the cheerleaders, you have the well-wishers, those who are rooting for their home teams, and those who are waiting, as we are, to see game number 2 of this doubleheader.
Of the Eagles and the Bulldogs.
And if it's anything like this first one, we're in for a treat.
Absolutely, Tony. So now timeout ending, and this will be the biggest 4 minutes of the game, obviously, for the Cybercats, because this is redemption time, as they'll be able to come back in it and be able to maybe capitalize big, as they've been needing to. So a must-score drive here for Spears and the Cybercats. And now it's Martin. Back to Spears. He's going to press out, and it's going to be Martin on the three. Can't get it to go. Not able to knock that one down, and the Beavers rebound by Green now. And they call over and back carry, as that will be a turnover for the Beavers. And now they need to once again score on this. With time winding down, you only have so much. Spears finds Smith. Smith, pull up, Jay from mid-range. No foul called on the shot, so they won't be able to get that one to go down.
They're starting to settle for jump shots when they really need to go to the paint and try to draw a foul or two.
So, another turnover. Now, the defensive stops are big for Sci-Tech, but they need to produce offensive momentum, and they haven't been able to do that, at least this quarter. So back to Smith, to Spears. 3:05 to go.
The 3-2
to
zone.
Martin on the top. Martin on the drive, under and over, no good. As Banks looking to stay with it, not to get the rebound, and now here he is, this triplet to back out. He has Green as an option. He's going to hold on to it, drive to himself, gets it to go on the clean isolation. And now it's Martin. Martin to Thomas, to Spears. Top of the key, guarded by Feliciano. Spears to push. Off the glass, foul. And that will be for the Sci-Tech Cybercats. So now, Tony, we've really gone in as depth as we can, and with the score the way it is, what could you really say about the performance from Xavier Martin and the Sci-Tech Cybercats?
Well, as we mentioned throughout the broadcast, that Martin had the hot hand and was leading all scorers. A very good outing for him. I think if he had just a little more help on the offensive side, it may have been a different outcome here, but not to take anything away from the Putnam Beavers, who've done everything that was asked of them by Coach William Shepard in this contest. To get back on defense, deny, put your hands up, take the higher percentage shot, drive that lane.
And you set up the defense too, though. The way that he just has them do it, it's incredible.
And they fed the post. You gotta feed the post. If you're not gonna drive the lane, you gotta dump it inside.
Yeah,
and see what you can get.
Of course.
Very entertaining games.
And now it's Green on the other side. He's gonna lob it up, and that will be
again
English.
Same formula
on the setup.
Dribble drive. Get to the paint, dump it inside, get the higher percentage shot.
So now X, and the tip by Feliciano. And Feliciano onto the other end, can't finish, and it goes out on him, it seems, off his foot. So it will be Sci-Tech ball. 2 flat to go here in the game with the score of 53-36 on the Beavers lead. So here in the final minutes of the game, we'll see what Spears does. The senior in his final Hoophall performance with 9 points of his own. It's Martin. And it will be going out of bounds. And it will be Beavers ball. And the Beavers still applying the pressure as there's triplet. And now Spears onto the other end. Holds on to it and puts it up himself off the glass, in for 2. And there's 2 more points. 2 more points for Spears. And Banks and Smith are there.
Well, they're playing with the intensity
that
right
they needed 8 minutes ago, you know. So Sci-Tech calling a timeout. And as we keep touching on it, Tony, definitely what was, at first when we started, I said this could be Sci-Tech's game. But this is another performance from Putnam where they really start off a little slow, but once they get that ball rolling, Shepard knows what he's doing. He has those calls that will really affect the opposing team more than anything, because you won't expect it. And as we saw, as soon as they went down, and once they were down by 2, they started applying pressure defensively, they got their stuff together offensively, and they applied on every single shot.
Well, once they switched over from man-to-man to that 3-2, and it pushed Sci-Tech to really try to shoot outside of a couple of three-pointers made by Martin, they weren't there. They got cold. Though he had some help from junior Chris Spears there, just everyone else needed to participate and contribute a little more.
Yeah. So now Smith to inbound it, looking for Spears. Feliciano to take on Spears. And he's going to find Smith on the bounce pass. And he'll call out of bounds on that line. And it will be Beavers' ball. They'll call them to stay as Martin, Spears, and Banks will be trying to get their own in. And there will be a timeout called. And maybe to get some adjustments in. We'll see.
Well, I was delighted to meet some of the young men prior to the tip-off and just hear some of their dreams and aspirations and some of their favorite things that they like to do. Even to hear some of the favorite art that is very popular amongst them at this particular time. The common theme is food with everyone. I've seen soul food, rice and beans, Chinese food. I've seen everything from favorite players, past and present. LeBron. We've seen that a number of the young men like the game of Westbrook. And to look at favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Gunna, Young Thugs, and others. It was a true education for me to just hear and be in the midst of them for a moment.
Always,
and grab
yeah.
a couple of good laughs and
always cool, yeah.
Well, we're back to the action. As for those of you just joining us at home, I'm Tony Pettaway. I'm joined with my
Ciro
man,
Zanetti.
Ciro Zanetti.
Well, Tony, we definitely had a great matchup, and of course, not over yet, so we'll see how Putnam either intensifies or lets the ball go out. But it's definitely been an honor to start off the 2020 and the new decade right, and to commentate some Hoophall Classic. So English, gonna get it across to Feliciano. Feliciano gonna push the basket, and there will be a foul call, which is gonna set up triplet.
And I think more impressive than all of that aforementioned is the pride that they exhibited in sharing their great point averages, and that they are student athletes. Students first, athletes second. To see a number of 3.0s and 3.5s in others with aspirations to go to the next level in some of the schools that were mentioned. Alfred University, Mount St. Mary's College, MCLA, and for Trent Smith, and just to see dreams and aspiration of Duke from a number of the young men. I told them, well, I see a common theme at Duke, but the common theme at Duke is studying, definitely getting those grades up, so the challenge is out there.
And now, game winding down, last minute, as Tony let us know some stuff about the players that you may enjoy to know. It's almost time to say goodbye to them. So 47 seconds to go. The game is still going on very competitively. And Dickerson putting up his shot. That will be point 13 for Dickerson. And Martin gets the three to go to end it. And Martin, another tray. Another tray for him. So now, less than a shot clock remaining in the game. It'll be out of bounds. Beavers ball, 17.1 to go. And the inbound to Dickerson. He can't get the shot in. English can't either. Dickerson still going at it.
They're missing a trifecta. The trifecta of Martin, which gives them 26 points and not 23.
So now Dickerson gets that to go. And Tony, we've touched on this a lot, but overall, what was your favorite part of the game team-wise?
I like what Putnam exhibited on the defensive end. And in the transition offense, after a missed basket by Tech, I like how they led with 3 players, spread the court, and went to the heart of the paint.
Well, absolutely, Tony. And as the game concludes, the Putnam Beavers win 57-41. As a Tech, Cybercats couldn't finish strong, but a great performance from Xavier Martin with 26. And overall, a bulky scoreboard for the Beavers, as a lot of players over 6 and some even in double digits. So to start off the doubleheader of the 2020 Spaulding Hoophall Classic, this was Ciro Zanetti with Tony Petaway, and you were watching Focus Springfield.